Good morning. So I'm going to talk you through how I can make £130 from brownies in 6.5 hours, and you could actually make more than that because your ingredients cost are probably lower than mine. So a few weeks ago, I did a video in response to the cost of living crisis uh, about how to get your costs down for your brownies, basically by batching. I love a bit of batching, right? So if you haven't seen it, essentially you just, rather than just baking 2 trays of brownies, cleaning up before, cleaning up afterwards, you produce loads at once. You can freeze them if they don't sell. I keep telling you that your freezer is your friend in this business. Brownies do freeze surprisingly well. As long as they're wrapped up properly, they will keep for a good couple of months in freezer. So now this week I've had a brownie bake day and I actually kept a timesheet. So this that I'm about to tell you is based on if I bake 4 12-inch square tins of brownies plus 8 of the standard size foil tray bakes. So in total that's 128 brownies that I'd have for sale from this amount of work. Your brownies might not be the same size as mine. Mine are about 3-inch square. All of these costings, they're all based on the brownies being sold at a full price of £2.50 each. So that is £320 total turnover from this batch of brownies. So my time start to finish for pre-clean, hands-on time actually making the brownies, cleaning up afterwards, mopping the floor, probably cleaning up a couple of times in between bowlfuls as well, slicing, photographing, marketing, messaging, packaging, answering the door multiple times. I estimate that to be 6.5 hours in total. I'm not counting when I keep the customer chatting for 20 minutes at door because I've not seen them for ages. I'm not going to charge them for that time. I could get rid of them quicker if I wanted to, couldn't I? So I'm basing it on that. So my ingredients cost for this amount of brownies currently is about £120, and that includes the 8 foil trays. Packaging is then on top of that, which at the minute I'm using up all my oddments, all my weird shapes and sizes that I've got left. So what I do is I generally factor into my costs between £1.50 and £2 per order, depending on how many brownies they're having, and that includes for like stickers, allergen stickers, and a business card, things like that. So please do note your ingredients cost will probably be a lot lower than mine. I use Calabao chocolate, which depending on how much I buy at once, it can be 3 times the price of the supermarket, the 30p bars. I use proper butter, brown sugar, home pride flour. I'm not saying anybody should be doing this. I made a rod for my own back years ago by creating this gourmet brand, and now I can't back down from it anymore. So I'll then charge £10 for a full day of overheads. Your overheads will be very different to mine. You can't get away from doing your own maths on this. I'm giving you this as an example. I'm not saying this is how you should work out yours. We all work differently. We all have different costs. So I add on a 10% profit margin, and that buys any new or replacement tools I need for future projects. You need to set your own profit margins based on what your business needs. I have got a video about how to do that if you look back in the early ones. So total sales is £320 minus 120 for ingredients, minus around £30 for packaging, £10 overheads, keeping my 10% profit, which is £29 aside for the business use. Then that leaves earnings in my pocket of £131. So if your ingredients cost are lower, you can probably still charge £2.50 for a brownie. It depends on who you're selling. You might be charging more. It depends who you're selling to, depends where you're selling, it depends on your reputation, obviously. So you can make more than I did on this, obviously depending on your other costs as well. So also remember, you might not sell all these brownies at once. That's a lot of brownies. You need your freezer space. You need to be posting regularly on your socials, reminding people you've got them for sale. So, well, that's how I make £131 in 6.5 hours, which works out nicely at £20 an hour. Don't feel that that is excessive. Minimum wage is currently half of that. We don't get holiday pay. We don't get employer national insurance contributions. We don't get sickness benefit. Plus, we do a lot of other work on our business that we don't actually count in our costings. So, like as admin, as big clean down once a week, our shopping time and things like that. So £20 an hour is about what you should be aiming to get. you might want to aim for more. If you can justify that, go for it. Just do it. So go and do your own maths based on this sort of big batch production. You can do similar costs, keep yourself a timesheet, work out your ingredients costs for having a cupcake day. I know that in one big day's work I can produce 120 cupcakes start to finish. And I'll aim to probably make £100 plus for that day's work. So go do your own maths. This is how we keep our sanity and how we maintain our steady income. Silly season is upon us now. Halloween's orders are coming in. We've got massive sales opportunities this quarter, so please make the best of them. Don't absolutely knock yourself out by trying to do loads of different jobs in one day. You can sit and do 100 cupcake toppers in one day. That's all your Christmas cupcake toppers made. Think about how you can do things. I'm all about this batching. That's how we're going to keep our costs down, and it's how we're going to keep our businesses running. Good.